Jehovah's Witnesses have taught their members an extreme form of thinking. So it is logical to think that when Watchtower harms their own members, they may react in an extreme fashion. Although, as we discussed in the first part of the video, people have responded stronger for less than molestation, losing a family member to death, or a family member treating them like they're dead because of Watchtower, or Watchtower tricking them out of their future by telling them when they're young and impressionable not to go to college or not to pursue higher education and not to focus on their career and their future. People have done more for less than what Watchtower has done to people. So I think, comment down below and let me know what you think. Instead of putting up a $36,000 reward, which I think it started off as a $25,000 reward, instead of offering a large reward for information about what? Who could have done it? It could be anybody. Instead of doing that, take that money, and if you're going to, as a government and as a whole, just allow Watchtower to keep doing this to people, instead of putting up rewards trying to figure out which one of the millions of people Jehovah's Witnesses have hurt could have possibly done it. Use that money for counseling for Jehovah's Witnesses. If you got $36,000 sitting to the side to try to find somebody, this is irrelevant. Watchtower is creating this issue. This is not going to go away. They're creating this issue. We've talked before about what's happened in other situations where there was a woman who shot and killed her entire family and herself because of the extreme teachings of Watchtower, thinking the end is coming and that her whole family's going to die and she's going to lose everybody, and I guess maybe thought that they should just all die together because of Watchtower's extreme teaching. So we've talked about people harming themselves and that they could possibly harm others. This is something that, again, most people are surprised it hasn't happened sooner. So it is an accident waiting to happen. This has been an accident waiting to happen. Responding with $36,000 reward for trying to find who's done something we all think probably could have happened years ago is a little bit too little too late now. It's too little too late. We've been warning about this. Instead, put the money and the effort, in my opinion, and you comment down below. Instead of paying your staff to try to catch who knows who it could have been. Could have been anybody. That $36,000 reward could cause an elder or someone that is attending one of those halls to throw anybody under the bus. Well, we've been shunning this person, and so maybe they did it. They may just give the police a list of people that they've been shunning and mistreating and saying they could have done. This is ridiculous. Watchtower, you know, they could throw anybody under the bus in order to try to receive that $36,000. And we will have no way of knowing if they did it. And let's throw the whole, we can use a lie detector out the window. I listened to the Thurston County Police, and they said something to the effect that they want names of people that could have been involved, and that they have a method to then figure out the truth. Hopefully that method they're talking about isn't a lie detector, because a thinking person knows that there's no such thing as a machine that'll just tell you if somebody's telling the truth or not. There's a machine that will tell you if a person is under duress or nervous, or body functions are acting in a certain way. And what I don't understand about the lie detector test is if a person is being asked questions and police are asking them the questions and they're hooked up to this machine where a person is reading on me, that could possibly cause them to be more nervous than they already would be. And people could respond in a number of ways to that. I don't think that is a sure fireproof method, and that is to have members of that cult just start throwing people under the bus for that $36,000 and then just start attaching them to lie detector tests to try to figure out if they did it or not. So hopefully that's not what they are implying, but you're going to make it legal for cults to exist in America and do whatever damage they want to do to people. So it would be logical in my assessment that you would then, if you're going to use money to do something, use money for rehabilitation for people who have been hurt, that don't have anyone because Watchtower took all of their friends and family, that are struggling because Watchtower lied to them and told them their whole life, don't pursue higher education, Armageddon's right around the corner, it'll all be okay, and then they're 50 and it never came. Provide counseling and therapy. Use the money for the people who have been molested due to the two-person rule and due to the cult members' mentality that everyone in that Kingdom Hall is trustworthy. They could have been molested numerous times. Use the $36,000 instead of lining it up to start catching people that are retaliating for all of this. Use that for helping former members of Watchtower, and that might prevent it from happening in the future. If people have professional help paid for, and they have professionals trained to understand what a cult does, so that they know how to help a former Jehovah's Witness. So we've been putting these videos out, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, we've been putting these videos out for years and years and years and years. The information that the cult has been hurting people for years is out there. And I mean seriously hurting people for years is out there. We've been putting it out there for a long period of time. So in doing something, why not use the money to help? Or look into stopping the shunning. That should not be legal. It should not be legal to implement a form of torture, a form of, we're going to isolate you if you don't do what this religion tells you to do, and we're going to use the power that we have over the members of this cult to cause them to all isolate you as well, including your family. That's a form of torture that should not be legal. I shouldn't be able to cause this to happen as an authority figure in a religion. If people just in general don't get along and they're not talking, that's one thing. But if I, assume authority and use my religious authority to abuse people, then that should not be legal. So those are some of the things that I think could help and assist. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Video is in 2 parts. The first video, battery ran out in the middle of the discussion, but we got most of the points out there. And no, I don't think that having police standing outside of Kingdom Hall, watch the video, look it up on YouTube about the Thurston County Kingdom Hall fires. Having police outside the Kingdom Hall protecting Jehovah's Witnesses and offering reward money to try to capture the victims of Watchtower. That's not the Jehovah's Witness teaching of persecution. The persecution is supposed to come from the government agencies that are protecting Watchtower and allowing them to do all this shunning and allowing the 2-witness rule. So it's the opposite of their teaching. So I'm not sure if the fires and the shootings are going to strengthen the members' view, because they're going to see the opposite of what Watchtower taught. It's not coming from other religions. It's not coming from the government. It's coming from people we've been shunning, and people, you know, depending on the person, it might shock everyone that they were involved with it. So who knows? That sort of thing is extreme. It's not the sort of thing that the majority of the ex-Jehovah's Witness community condones. Probably 99.9% of the ex-Jehovah's Witness community does not condone it or agree with it. But it possibly could make people think. You know, what would make a former member burn down Kingdom Halls and shoot them up? Right? If a person knows that it's quote unquote the truth, why then would they burn down the Kingdom Hall? Because it would kind of be pointless to do that, right? If you think God is backing them and that it's the truth, which a former member, according to them, would know, right? So why then would they shoot up a hall? Wouldn't that be essentially committing suicide, attacking the Kingdom Hall? If you think God is actually backing it, you're going to go shoot it up. That would kind of be stupid, right? So obviously the person or persons involved, if they are former members, don't believe that Watchtower represents God. Otherwise, they wouldn't be shooting up halls and burning them down. Those things could cause people to think. And who knows? We've been warning about this. Hopefully this is not an ongoing trend, but it is something very difficult to control and very difficult to stop if the authorities continue to allow Watchtower to do whatever it wants to people. How do you then stop people from, in the middle of the night, burning down buildings, or in the middle of the night shooting up buildings? I don't know how you would stop that unless you stop their reasoning for doing it, which is the shunning, the molestation, the destruction Watchtower has over people, or use some of the funds to have programs for people who Watchtower has hurt. And then through those programs, they can find ways to cope without retaliation. So 937-789-4029. I don't think the Thurston County authorities and police force completely understand they're dealing with a cult here. But let me know what you think. And this is X Wallkill Bethelite signing out.